Hi there, Nitronics here. On Friday this week I'm going to be doing some basic stop motion video work with some kids. Now it's only very basic stuff, but it's fun. It's fun to do, it's very cheap, you have a lot of fun and you learn quite a lot. So what I was going to do is there's two stages to what I'm going to do with the kids. One is to get them to make their stage and make the little men figurines out of plasticine, and then you can sort of film them doing things with each other using webcams and a piece of software for the PC, and basically it's literally free, unless if you've got an external webcam or a camcorder you can plug into your computer that you can use as like an external webcam. Then you can do some pretty basic stop motion and it can be really good fun. The second sort of phase that I want to go into though, which is actually quite cool, is green screening, where I actually would like the kids to be putting themselves into their own videos, which would be rather cool. You've done all your little men doing things and then suddenly you walk into your own video talking to these little plasticine models which you've made about 3 weeks previous. So this is a very basic, this is extremely basic, you probably think of better ways, but I thought it was quite cool, so I'm going to make a video about it. What you'll need is a sheet of A4 white paper, although I've painted that. You need a sheet of A4 white paper, some paint, which you can get at most sort of hardware stores. This is very cheap, this is what you give to a 5-year-old kid to paint trees and stuff. And as you'll notice, it's a certain green. It is green, it's chroma sort of green. Now I look for that particularly because I know that that's the colour of the sheet which I've got for my chromakeying. You need a paintbrush, obviously, and all I did was I painted this sheet of paper green. Now it might be easier if you actually went and bought some green paper, but I didn't have any to hand, and I thought it'd actually be easier to buy a bottle of paint for like 95p and use a sheet of paper and paint it green. Now okay, that's not completely green, but it serves a purpose. Now the plan is to overlay him on top of a video. Now I've already picked a video off the internet for Rosie and Jim, and I'm going to have him pop up into it at the front, which is pretty cool. And the idea of this is if you film him in front of that, you can take the background out and he'll appear in the video, which is really cool. Now I'm going to film it on my phone because that's all I have to hand and it's dead easy to use. Although the video quality isn't fantastic, it does its job. So I'm going to show you how I did this, and then you can have a little play yourself. So I'll see you in a moment. So here we are. I've got my sheet of green paper here. I've also got a lamp because if you light a green screen, you get an evenly lit green screen. It's actually easier to take out the background. And I've got my little man here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my phone and I'm going to take a video of him coming up into my green screen, moving about a bit and coming back out. And that's all I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do on this camera, is I'm going to film him popping up into the bottom of this green screen, and you'll see in a minute what the video looks like of him popping up into this green screen frame, just moving his head about and coming out again. So here we go. This is very basic, so I'll make sure I've got the background in focus so the whole green is covered in the back. Make sure I haven't got much in the way of glare off this, because otherwise it's going to ruin the effect. So yes, here we go. So I'm going to start filming now. He comes in, moves his head about, has a little look at you, and then comes out. And that's the end of that. So that's me filming this very short video clip, and I'm now going to switch to my computer and I'll show you what that looks like. Right, so here we are in iMovie. Now iMovie is quite cool. This is iMovie 09. So there's some cool features you can do in this. Certainly green screening is one of them, which I've not been able to do before. But anyway, I've imported this video I got off of YouTube of Rosie and Jim, just something basic that, you know, appeals to kids. As you can see, I'm scrubbing through there. It's a very basic video. It's just the intro to Rosie and Jim's cartoony programmy thing they have on the TV. So this is aimed at little kids. Anyway, I wish to import my video, which I've just done, so you can have a look at it. So I'm going to go up to File and go to Import and go to Movies. And I've shoved my video on the desktop from my phone. So if I go to Green Screen Man and import him, that's then going to import that into my currently selected event. So there it is there. So as you can see, my little green man there, he comes up, looks around, looks left, looks right, has a look at you, and then goes back down again. And you can see the green in the background there. It's not fantastic, but it's, you know, it's simple. It's something you can do yourself, and it's free. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select my clip, and I'm going to drag my clip up here. So there's my clip in the timeline up here. Okay, now one thing you've got to turn on in iMovie is the advanced settings. Okay, so if you go to iMovie and go to Preferences and then go to Show Advanced Tools, when you drag your video, your other video, over the top of this clip, it will come with a menu, and on there will be some of these extra functions. So close that, and I'm going to go and select my other video. Now there he is there. I'm going to drag him on top of that video there, so on about there. Stick him on there, and that pops a menu. Now I'm going to go picture in picture. I want green screen, okay? And then straight away, if I click off that and then move the timeline along, he pops up now. It looks left and right. Now you can still see the paper in the background, because of course it's not a completely solidly coloured green, but it's quite good. But if I want him to be a bit better, if I move my mouse over, if I click on that clip there and click on this little cog and go down to video adjustments, I can change the exposure level. And if I change the exposure level, I can get rid of most of that background. So if I then click done, it actually looks a bit better. Okay, so now we have, he pops up, looks around, and then off he goes. Bye. And that's the simplest thing that I can think that is actually quite cool, that you can do yourself inside about half an hour and have a lot of fun with, because it doesn't have to be a little beanie man. It could be anything really. You could have a car going across, you could have money shooting across the page, you could have anything you wanted going across that green page. Now I will stress that this is only very basic. Of course, if you want it much better than that, I would not suggest having, you know, that sort of green background. I'll get a solidly green bit of paper. But it serves its purpose, and of course you have a bit of fun, export it, put your subtitles and stuff in there. You can get him to groove along with the beat or whatever. But I think it was just something worth knowing and something worth playing around. So I hope you've learnt something. I'm going to have a bit of fun. If you get stuck, send us a comment and I'll reply back and see what you're doing wrong. But apart from that, enjoy.